What up, YouTube? Jesse here with Just Man Sports Cards. Gonna do a PSA reveal. We'll start with some vintage, but then I'll roll into the mid '90s. Some cool inserts, and then we'll end up in the early 2000s. 72. So this is Phil Jackson's rookie card. The 9 of this does big dollars, so you can see not good color there. I got a 5. Pretty good centering. And then the 6. So on those, I'd probably just focus on buying better copies going forward if I was to do that experiment again. This is the other big rookie, Artis Gilmore. He's a rookie, so 5s. 72 backs look like that, for anyone that's curious. '73 Kareem. Centering is always tough on this, and then just different random stuff on here. One of my favorite cards always, because Wilt's there, so it's like he wasn't playing against slouches. '6. You occasionally see this kind of like the rough edge. '73. 6. Oh, 7. 7's it's definitely over $100. 74 set, the Kareem 5. 74 was pretty condition sensitive as a set. Julius. That's George Erving in there, right? That's what the backs of the 74s look like. Five. So you occasionally have to look for wax on these. The 8, and this is close to, it's like a $200-300 card. Four. I have no idea what they look for on centering on these, because that looks really centered to me. Maybe a little top to bottom. It's a 6. I mean, the bottom is there. It's rough, but typically you'll see a lot of snowing through here, or paper loss, whatever you want to call it. And a lot of times this is smeared right here. There's 6. 6 is not a bad grade on this card. 7's much better. I paid $15 for grading on these, or 13 or whatever it was at the time. '77's like I said, I probably wouldn't send in again, just because high grades are really, really tough to get, and then I don't feel like people appreciates the 7s and the 8s that much, or they don't pay for them. I guess they're not that desired. I mean, it's obvious that it's got problems, but yeah. So towards the end, I wasn't being as selective as I probably should have been. Oops. 77, Daryl Dawkins, Chocolate Thunder. This is his rookie. Might just keep it since I don't have one of his rookies. 79, George Gervin, 6. This one's started to get more love because of the skyhook. You can see the snowing or the paper loss. Obvious problems down here. That's a much nicer looking forward to me. Just the color's a lot better. It's not as centered, but I'd rather have the one on the left. Five. I mean, if I sold these, I would be at a loss with the grading fee and the cost of the card. So right now it's just a hold. And Kareem is top 3. 5. See this surface thing right there. An indent, whatever you want to call it. 6. So if I'd just been pickier and then just sent this, I would be in to only the grading cost for this one instead of these extra 5. So retrospect, I'm sure there's a lot of that. 4. There's that wax there, so I was way too rushed. I was just trying to get stuff in before it shut down because it was like imminent. So without the wax, this would maybe be a 6. So this is Magic's first solo card. 80's considered his rookie, but I would consider this his solo rookie. I kind of like the solo rookies better, like Nolan Ryan's. I don't like his true rookie. 7. It's pretty centered, left to right, top to bottom. Some edge stuff there. But there's probably something else that I missed. I definitely shouldn't have sent this. But a 7 on this, I mean, you can go look at like the Michael Jordan pop on it. A 7's pretty good, just because none of them are centered. 4 and 5 is an L. And 8 is okay here. You can recover your grading fees. Ditto. They're probably both $25 cards, $30 cards. 9, you're looking more at 50, 60 for these. I was picking these up cheap, like close to 2 years ago. You could pick them up for $2, $3 a piece, the cards. So $2, $3 plus 15 grading. Flip it for 60. It's not great, but you're not losing. I mean, Kareem's definitely gone up, but Flair, I think I've graded this one before. I can't remember. 8. This is my second one of this. I sold my other copy though, because I knew I had this one on the way. 8, 93 finest, it greens. You can see it greening. This is probably an L. The 9 does like around $30. I thought that was pretty well centered though. So I don't know if they're starting to mark down for greening now, because I had some Shacks that the only difference I could tell on them were the greening. So move into 95 with some garnet. 9. These are going for like $10 right now, 15. Got some fingerprints on there. It's not on the card. Yeah. Collector's Choice. It's probably a $10 card right now. So Garnett's a hold for me right now. I don't think we're going to see a lot of his stuff graded over the next year. So that should, I'm guessing that's going to dry the supply up. The Parallel. I've talked about this on the channel before. Players Club. And then there's a Platinum version. The 9's a good grade on that. Centering's tough on these. And then the all gray border on the front. You get white on the back, but I think that's kind of a sleeper card. But Jordan Flair, beautiful card. Space. I think this is like a $40 card. I dig Flair, for those that don't know. Meltdown, this is pack pulled. So this should be off the bottom a little more. It's got to be off at least a little bit. Oops. So you can see the difference there. And then on a 9, it should be up a little more even. But these were both pack pulled. I forget, I opened like 4 or 5 boxes of this. I hit 3 Jordans, which is silly, we'll see. Got this off eBay, so for a 9. Gold Medallion, pretty rare. It's 1 in 360 packs or something like that. But you could get hot packs, so it'll probably take you like 8 boxes to get this. I don't know what this would do. People don't. They're starting to figure out the gold medallion thing, but it's still kind of not well known. So I think they're a little undervalued. 8. This is like a $40, $50 card. The 9 will do like 125. I have not done well grading this card. 8s are not wins. But it's Flair, so it's a classic brand. So a lot of this stuff I'm just gonna store until the market moves. There are people out there saying that just dump it and buy something nicer, but I don't really like taking L's. 6s. This is my first high riser set that I bought. So I didn't really know what to look for, and I assumed that they all kind of, they're super cool cards, but what you have to look for is chipping on the back. They're pretty strict about it. I thought they'd be a little more understanding that this is just how the set is, but I think anymore with 90s stuff, they're just like, no, this is what it is. So on some, I'll probably price all this stuff pretty low for the 6s and just move on. I have other sets and cool card. I mean, if you're not looking at the 6, it's like definitely whiting there, but high riser, those are like 1 per box. 96. Zeekling, so this is a sticker. These aren't rare, but they're more rare than like the base. I think a Zekling was like 1 every 2 packs. Then you had, I forget how many cards in the set. So 9's good here. Gold Medallion. Needs to say this. I like these photos, the Flair. So this is Series 2. So this is his second rookie card in Ultra. But looking at other cards now, that definitely shouldn't be that way. So an 8 is fair. This is something really low pop, like pop 4, pop 8. I forget how many I submitted of these. Not many. But for a while I was buying, I have stacks of these. Like the surface can be kind of tough, so I wasn't sure how tough they were going to be. So it's funny, I was stricter on some cards sending off. I think I had more faith in vintage. So those are holds for me, especially with the 10. I don't know that I would get that back. Oops. I'll never send this card in again. It's just, this was the craze that everyone was doing. This is the base. Centering can be kind of tough to look for, but I mean, it wasn't way off. So the gold medallion would have that, and it's probably 4 or 5 times more rare. I think these cards in the low grades are kind of sleepers. If you, I watch this market a lot with the Kobe and the Iverson. Yeah. 7 of the Kobe still does pretty well. Iverson not so much, but then 8s for both those cards are big. Iverson's 2 metal cards. I prefer his Fresh Foundations. I really like this card. The backs are not as crazy as the one on the left because it blocks his face. It's not as cool as Pose. Eight. Freshly Forged. Pretty rare card, but 7. It's got the whiting up there, but I'm not sure what did it, but Kobe has this. Kobe's in the Freshly Forged as well, and so is Iverson's. I like Kobe's Cyber Metal, but I'm not crazy about his Freshly Forged. These are both inserts, so they're more rare than the base. And that's kind of what everyone's telling everyone to invest in right now. 8. Don't know why that was out of order. Typically I try to order these up before going on. 9. So the 10, yeah. So I sent 4 of those. 25%, I mean, I'll take that. The card's gorgeous. I think they're underrated. This is his other, the row 1. The row 1 and row 2 are about the same rarity. I don't like this one as much just because of the pose. Back's the same. And, well, I guess there's a legacy of each row, but this is the rarest row. 7 is an L. I'm not sure what. I mean, You can see it's a little off center, left to right. Just you look for the name. Is how you tell on these. See how the name's more centered there. They're pretty tough cardstock, so I don't know how this got a 7. Nine. Lucky 13, this is an insert. Kobe and Iverson are in at 2. Bowman's best. I wouldn't send this again, just because of space. They're tough on these. I mean, you can tell the corner is a little. Yeah. I mean, they're cool cards, definitely. You can see through them or whatever. If you haven't seen those before, EX. This is a win. These go for 55, 60 bucks. You will occasionally. It's kind of a print line, but it's pretty common in a lot of them. You don't see it there, though. I don't know if people pay up for that, but in a way I kind of do sometimes, because I'm not crazy about it. But it doesn't look like PSA really knocks you down for it. Iverson. There's a rare version of these, and it's like minted in Springfield, and it says it here or here, and it's like a gold stamp. The Kobe's of that do pretty good. This does still pretty good, because it's any 10, you're doing okay. I had 2 of those. An 8. I don't know. These are just... I guess you can see a little white on the bottom left, but is that enough to get an 8? I don't know. These were 1 per box. It's like a thick cardstock though, so I don't know how those. Row 1, 97. It's one of my favorite Flair cards. And then the back looks like a standard Flair. So the row 0 and 96 is kind of the rarest, and then the row 1 is more rare in 97. And I don't completely know why it works that way. Chris Webber, my brother PCs, or he did when he was a kid. My brother doesn't collect now. So 7, I don't know. A little white. Reggie. And this has like a, I knew it had like a scratch before I sent it off. So I didn't expect a good grade. 7 of this is actually still a pretty high dollar card. Probably got it 20, 25 more cards. 8, so 8's good. Grab some more cards. The PSA 10 of this just did like over 800, which was like a record. It happened 2 or 3 weeks ago. High grades of it are really hard to get. It's an insert. You can try to look for good copies on eBay, but it's a hustle. I have an 8 listed, I think, on eBay right now. At a price that I'm willing to let it go, but I'm pretty firm on these because I know how many cards you have to look through to find a good one. So a 9's a really good grade. I think that the scans don't really do it justice because it's hard to see how kind of cool. Ow, I just hit my elbow. 2 9s, a 7. 9. I opened a box of this, so this is packed fresh. The cards always stick on Skybox, the older stuff, 95 through 99, the paper. Ionix. I opened a box of this, but I don't know. I did buy some stuff off eBay, so an 8th, an L there. Kinetics, 1 in 20 packs. I've talked about these before. MJ. Paul Pierce has a rookie in it, and Dirk has in it. 20 card set. So 2 9s. Kind of like a refractory finish, but not a refractor. These are short print, but people don't realize it. So the Dirk does pretty well. The Pierce, people don't realize. You can look at the Vince Carter population for 98 for rookies, and that kind of gives you an idea of how many possible cards are out there because he was submitted during the hype back in the day. But if you pack pull these now, they stick, and it's hard to get a clean copy. You can do your eBay hunting if that's your thing. I think this is one of his best looking rookies. Kind of color matches. Skyonix. I've actually done pretty well selling these. They'll sit for a couple months, but then someone picks them up and they're 1 in 72 packs. So 1 in 2 boxes. And Skyonix was an expensive product. And there's just not a lot of them graded out there. People starting to grade the Jordan and stuff like that, but this is the only graded one I have. I might have one other raw one, or this might be my only copy. I'm not sure. So this is an extremely rare Jordan insert that was slept on for quite a while, and they're starting to get a little more attention. The Warp Zone's the toughest insert from Ionix. Jake's started to talk a little bit about these on his channel. It's kind of like you like it or you don't. I was all about rarity, and I think sometimes I didn't pay attention to looks. So the Dirk and a 9 or 10 of this will do big bucks. Ultra. There's a more rare version of this, the gold, and then the platinum. The platinum is insane. So yeah, that's kind of the nice thing with this later year cards is you get to see and grab. This is probably easier to sell at a card show than it. Just on eBay, you're not going to get much. I mean, you probably wouldn't at a card show, but if you PC Iverson, and I don't know how rare these are actually. Season's best. 98. Yeah, they have some cool inserts. Player's private issue. I got this in like a lot of Pierce. I have a box of this that I haven't opened. 99 is like the first Gallery of Heroes, which looks like stained glass. So you need to look for this. Sometimes these are mislabeled, and they should be out of 250. So this is pop 1, none graded higher, none graded lower. So that looks pretty cool to me, but so 10's big win. I paid up for these. It was just starting to get hot, and I was like, if I don't buy them now, I'm not. And trying to find one of these is tough. They're just like the stained glass. They're gorgeous in the light. And like if you hold them up to sunshine. 2 9s. And I paired them with Ray. I forget the pops on these. I know they're not high. Probably 10 more cards. This is like a pop 3. There's like 2 higher. There's none graded on eBay. You can go get probably a better copy than this for 10 or 15 bucks. KJ's in the back there. So it's a pretty rare card, I think. I mean, maybe people can dig them up, and there's just not that many on eBay. So 9, I don't know what I was. I don't think I've. Yeah, okay. So another Jordan. I got this one out of order for some reason. If you watched the Magic Johnson video, I talked about these. It's 1 in 130 packs. It's before they made the buzzsaw look. So these are kind of layered. And there's cut like the EXL typically is. So these are pretty rare. 2 8s. 2 9s. And they put them in the thicker cases. I don't know why. It's not really a thick card, but they seem to be doing that more often. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 9s, 2 8s. Can't believe I didn't get a 10, but seems to be the way PSA is handling things now. Last 2 cards. I've talked about these before. Jersey. These are. Yeah, there's 2 versions. There's a 250 version and a 150 for the jerseys. I had Garnett on a video not too long ago. And then there's the base version, which is this, and then there's a gold. And the gold is their top scoring points. But these are out of 100, so I don't know. I think this is still a hold for me because this is more rare than some essential credentials. Definitely the $4.99 ones. Similar look. So I don't know if the hobby will catch on or care, or I don't know. Feel free to shout out what your favorite card is. Yeah, a lot of different stuff here. Feel free to hit the like button, the subscribe button, tell people about the channel if you want to. This is probably going to be my last PSA submission for quite a while. I have 20 vintage baseball cards there, and that's all I have at PSA still. I've thought about doing some like live streaming and like trying to do chats, podcasts a little more. But I need to buy a webcam and stuff. My lab or my desktop doesn't have one. So hopefully everyone's having a great Memorial Day weekend, and I'll catch you guys later.